Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to another video. I wanted to talk real quick. I actually got a very interesting comment and I want to go ahead and respond to it. So let me just go ahead and kind of read a little bit of what he said. He basically said, it doesn't look like you're trying to dollar cost average into stocks. And because you're not trying to dollar cost average, to me, it appears that you are trying to time the market. That's what he said, right? Okay, and so this guy also said it might be good if you gave us some price targets of some stocks that you think are good buys, basically. And he also said that you mentioned that you think Tesla is a buy at $500. Might be helpful if you gave us other stocks that you think are potential buys, basically to prove to him that I'm not trying to time the market. So, fair question, fine. I want to make it very clear. I've said this plenty of times. Me holding cash is not just a stock thing. And I've said this so many times. I've said this in many videos. Me holding cash is actually me trying to get my emergency fund from 3 to 6 months to 8 to 12 months. Like, I'm really trying to get a year worth of cash. And the reason why is because I'm actually really fearful that we're going to go into a recession and we could even go into a depression, which I know sounds crazy, but it's possible. And I'm really worried about the possibility of us going into a stagflationary environment and also us going into a really deep and nasty recession. And so me holding cash is not just, oh, I'm just cashing up and I'm scared to buy stocks right now. Like, no, I made this very clear. Me holding cash is me preparing for the actual economy, like preparing for the macroeconomic stuff that's actually going to affect me, like higher inflation, maybe your job laying you off, which I said, I like my job. I think my job likes me, but you know, I mean, I know they like me, but like, if worse comes to worse, there's no guarantee that your job will keep you guys. And you have to keep that in mind. You can't just assume that you're going to be safe at your job, which that's the other component that I feel like a lot of people are leaving out as to why I'm buying stocks, right? It's not just, not why I'm not buying stocks and why I'm cashing up. It's not just, oh, you know, stocks are going to keep going lower. It really is not really about that. I do think the stocks will go lower, but that's not necessarily why I'm not buying. It's actually a little bit more complicated than that. Maybe I could do a live stream and fully explain it, but it has to do with a number of different factors. And one of them being, when I look at the possibility of recession, which I 100% think we're going to go in, I looked at my situation. I'm like, I only got about 3-6 months worth of cash. I think I should probably tighten up my war chest and get about a year's worth, maybe even more than that, because you just never know, man. You just never know, right? Now let's move on to the other question. He said, can you give us some stocks with some price targets? Sure. That doesn't mean I'm going to buy them here, but I definitely don't think it would hurt to buy stocks at that price. And I definitely think that there are a few stocks in the market that are undervalued. So if you want me to give you some stocks that I think are undervalued and are at a good price to buy, not saying I would buy them right now, but you know, it wouldn't be the end of the world if you bought them. Sure. I like Disney in the $80 range. It's not quite there yet. Last time I checked, it was at $93. Disney in the $80 is a nice. I like that. I think it's undervalued at that price, right? Starbucks, if it goes under 70, it goes back to the $60 range. I think that's a nice opportunity. Tesla, whenever it gets to 500, Tesla I will be buying in the 500s. Don't care what anybody says. It's my opinion. I told you guys I did a discounted cash flow model. I did it on all of those stocks. I did it on Disney. I did it on Starbucks. My discounted cash flow actually showed that Starbucks was a buy at the 70s, but I want Starbucks at the 60s, so I'm going to wait on that. So Starbucks at the 60s, Disney in the 80s. I forgot what AMD was at, but I like AMD. You guys know I've always liked AMD. Nvidia in the 150s is a good one too. Let's see. I said Starbucks. I said Disney. Oh, I'm missing one, and I know exactly what I'm missing. Bank of America, one of my favorite stocks. I've owned Bank of America for about a year and a half now. I've actually owned Bank of America for a while. Bank of America, I've owned for a little minute. Bank of America is at like $31 last time I checked. I like that stock. I think that's a good one. I'm trying to stay away from tech too much, so you won't hear me mention tech like Microsoft, Apple, Google. I still think there's more downside, so I'm going to wait on those. I mean, I guess they're undervalued, but I don't know. I'm going to wait. I haven't really done my full research on those yet. Like, I haven't done like discounted cash flow model. I haven't really taken a deep look at their businesses the way that I took a deep look at Starbucks and Disney, which, you know, I've actually been, I do have on my watch list. I'm watching those carefully. I do like those. So yeah, those are the few stocks that I like, guys, at those price ranges. So Nvidia, I like at 150, just to recap. Nvidia 150, I like. AMD, I can't remember what price it was at, but if not Nvidia, did I say? Okay, hold on. Nvidia at the 150s, I like. AMD in the 70s, maybe the 80s, but really the 70s is where I want AMD at. Starbucks in the 60s, Disney in the $80 range. Bank of America, where it is now, is fine. So hopefully that answers that question. So for those who are saying, oh, you're timing the market, those are the stocks that I like at those prices. Now, the reason why I won't buy those stocks is because, again, I told you guys, everybody's situation is different. I just don't have any interest in buying stocks right now. I don't. I have more interest in building up as much cash as I can. You got to keep in mind, too, I'm 27. I already have money invested in the market. I'm still 80% invested in the market. Most of my money is in the S&P 500. But I just have no interest in buying right now. I think that I'm young enough where I can afford to kind of protect myself economically, you know, holding cash. And I think there'll be plenty of time for me to buy stocks and make a lot of money in the future. But I just don't think that time is now. And that's just my opinion. You know, again, it's not timing the market. I've recognized, and I've said so many times on this channel, that the way that I am investing is actually going to ensure that I don't time the market. And that's fine. I don't plan to time the market. I already said this. By the time I want to buy stocks, the market will probably have already rallied because the market is smart and they pick up on this stuff. So I'm not going to catch the bottom, but that's fine. I would rather buy at a time where my downside is limited rather than buying at a time when my downside is not limited, right? My downside, there's still a lot of downside left. And I think right now at this current point, there is still a lot of downside to go. And for the love of God, please do not buy any stocks today when the Fed is going to talk about raising interest rates on the FOMC meeting today. This would be a terrible day to buy stocks. So don't do that, in my opinion, right? Obviously do what you want, but in my opinion, I wouldn't do that. But anyway, hopefully that answered that guy's question. I have nothing wrong with your question. It's a fair question, but just want to make it very clear again. The whole cash thing has a lot more to do than just buying stocks. And I think the time will come to buy stocks, but I think what you guys have to remember is you have to be patient. And patience is not always easy, right? It's not easy to wait months to finally put some cash to work, right? And I get it. Some people believe in the dollar cost average method. I believe in dollar cost averaging when you're doing index funds. I do not agree with dollar cost averaging when you're buying individual stocks. I think it's good to buy individual stocks when you personally believe they're undervalued. But just dollar cost averaging, we had a lot of people who bought stocks by dollar cost averaging individual stocks because of these YouTubers. And how did that go, right? So I disagree with that. I think it's better to buy individual stocks when they're undervalued, and that makes more sense. And that's kind of where I'm leaning. And like I said, if Disney or Starbucks or some of those stocks go to those prices, maybe I'll put some cash to work. Maybe. Well, if they go that way in a time where I feel it's fine to buy stocks. But for right now, I'm just not interested, you know. That's just me for right now. I'm not interested in buying stocks. But anyway, those are my targets. Those are my price targets for the guy who asked. Those are the targets of where I believe is a good time to buy those stocks, in my opinion. So yeah, you can take with that information what you want. I'm still have no interest in buying stocks as of right now. Maybe at the end of the summer, maybe things will change. But for right now, I am being patient. I am cashing up. And I am paying close attention to what's going on in the economic environment. So once again, there you guys have it. That'll go ahead and conclude today's video. Please take care of your mental health. Go for a walk. Do not stress over this stuff every freaking day. That is not good for your mental health. Try and find ways to get over whatever is going on in your life financially. And just try and figure out ways to safeguard yourself and protect yourself in the future. Take care of your mental health. Stay safe out there, guys. Have a good day. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video.